Invest in what they call different. Turn the world downside up. Invest for more with the right partner. Invest with Stanbic IBTC Asset Management. Email assetmanagement@stanbicibtc.com to get started. Stanbic IBTC Asset Management, a member of Standard Bank Group.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stanbic IBTC Asset Management. Invest smarter, debunking money myths. Ladies and gentlemen, it feels so good to be here. I'm super excited to be having everybody join us from every part of the world. One of the first things that I like that you do for me is I want you to go straight, into the comment section. I want you to start, dropping where you are, watching this from. Tell me exactly where you are at this point in time. I mean, it would be a very good one. I like to, read from you and see exactly where you are. Today we're dealing with invest smarter. We're investing smarter in 2025 by debunking money myths. That's promising. That's amazing. So what you want to do for me right now is to quickly go up right now. You have the flyers. You've seen everything. There's some of your friends that have promised that they also want to be a part of this. It will be a very good time to, remind some of them. You probably want to send a broadcast message. You want to put it on your WhatsApp status. You want to invite some of your friends to say, guys, you've always been taking me out to drink, to eat, to have a good time. Now is the time to please let us, let's learn together. I mean, let's grow together. I see lots of Lagos. I'm seeing lots of Lagos. That's amazing. Well, one of the beautiful things about today's conversation is that you also have the opportunity to ask your own question. Oh, I see somebody watching. This is Ifilma, and I see you from Port Harcourt. That's amazing. Thank you. I see ads from UK. I see Akintunde from Yola, Adamawa. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. This is so great. How is Adamawa this morning? Beautiful. And how's UK? Ade, I hope you're having a great time. Okay, I think I have Josiah all the way from Asaba. Wow, beautiful. I like to hear different kind of money myths in different parts of the world. This is going to be amazing. Cyril just joined in from Kajuna. Please don't forget, we're debunking money myths in 2025, and that's what we're doing today. All you want to do for me is please help me. Mohammed from Abuja. Help me call your friends. Tell them it's time to start. Olumuyiwa from Lagos. Let's join. I mean, let's do this together. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. My name is MC Rhelax. And, I love to look good. I love to enjoy life. I love money. And I'm very young. So I'm thinking about it that how do I, maintain this, this status or even grow bigger and better, for the next 85 years. So where better would I learn great conversations, great things than on platforms like this? Thank you so much. Soccer from Dublin. Emmanuel is watching from Abba. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. So please don't forget, you can also ask your questions. If you have a lot of money myths that has been ringing in your mind for like forever, this is a good time to, drop them so that, we can take a lot of stuff. Some of my Futarian friends are already saying, hey, all the way from Futa, Oluwasegun, good to have you. Once again, welcome to Stanbic IBTC Asset Management. Invest smarter, debunking money myths in 2025. Today, I will not be the only one talking. It's so good to have every one of you, by the way. Please don't forget, I'm excited to have you. Always have that at the back of your mind. But to also help us this morning, I have some great professionals who've done this for like forever. They'd like to join us so that we can have a beautiful and a robust conversation. And first on that list is the executive director investment at Stanbic IBTC. He has experience at Stanbic IBTC Asset Management Limited and Stanbic IBTC Pension Managers, holding senior roles in investment, risk equity, and private equity. He's a chartered accountant, chartered stockbroker, and a charter holder of both the Chartered Financial Analyst CFA Institute and the Certified Alternative Investment Analyst CAIA Association. It brings with him over 16 years of postgraduate experience in the financial service sector. His academic credentials include a PhD in finance investment from Babcock University, a master's degree in financial analysis and fund management from the University of Exeter, United Kingdom, a certificate in investment strategies and portfolio management from Wharton Business School, and a bachelor's degree in accounting from Babcock University. Ladies and gentlemen, the living legend, Efe Omoduemuke. So good to have you.
Thank you very much, MC Relax.
Thank
Nice
you.
to be here. And good morning, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much. Ife, I love the fact that you are smiling. And that means that we're actually going to do a lot of magic today. We're going to be debunking lots of money myths this morning.
Yeah, we
Definitely.
would. We would. It will be an interesting
Great.
time.
Okay, I believe you. Straight joining us also is an investment professional with over 6 years of experience spanning investment banking and asset management with a core focus on debt capital markets. She currently serves as a fund manager at Stanbic IBTC Asset Management, managing fixed income portfolios exceeding 2 trillion naira. Prior to this, she worked at ARM Securities, where she supported the execution of various debt and equity capital markets transactions. She holds a BSc in economics from the Obafemi Awolowo University and is a CFA Level 2 candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, the ever vibrant, full Esther Bankole.
Thank you, MC Relax. So good to be here. I'm glad to be with you, and of course, my boss, Efe.
Esther,
Can you hear me, MC
Esther,
Relax?
yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you,
I
Esther.
can.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Oh,
can.
great.
We lost you for a
Oh,
bit.
wow. I apologize. Thank you so much. So good to have you, Esther. How are you doing today?
Same here. I'm good. I'm excited.
Wow.
I'm excited for what we have.
Okay, so Esther, I think I'll just start with you straight. Esther, are there some money myths that you would like to debunk? Or let me not start with that. Are there some money myths that you already know that you have or that you've had over the years that you would like to just share? One or two of them.
Okay. I think there's one. Investing is only for the rich.
Mm,
If we're honest, if we're honest, if we're honest with ourselves, right? 3 years back or 4 years back, you were thinking, oh, if I earn as much as I will earn this year, you're already earning, I'm going to start investing, I will be satisfied, I'll be able to do more. But you are right in the middle of that season and you still not started. It's not because you don't have that money yet, it's because you've not built consistency. If you start early and you're consistent, it will be part of you and you'll be able to build wealth. So investing is not just for the rich. I mean, before if he got here, if he can testify, he didn't get here like this. He started early too. He started small. And if you don't start investing with that 5,000, you won't start investing with 500. You
mm.
will still say it will never be enough.
If you don't start
That's the truth.
investing with that 500, you will not do it with 5 million. Fantastic. That's a very bold statement. Okay, Efe, I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Some money myths that you think you've heard over the years that, that you've been able to debunk?
Esther just had to drag me into our example, right? so, so one of them is saying, "Oh, I'm not sure of the outcome of an investment. Therefore, let me keep my money under my bed, or let me just be
Mm,
gathering the money and keeping somewhere, so that when I need it, I'll be able to use it." Money kept under the bed would never make you rich and will never grow. Investment
mm,
is all about growing yourself and growing your finances. And so
mm.
you need to actually start putting that money to use for you to be wealthy.
Wow. You need to start putting that money in use for you to be wealthy. I think I heard that. Thank you so much, Afe. Now is the very good time for everybody to start. dropping their questions. I like to read from you. I like to hear from you. What money myths have you held on to, that you've been holding on to for like forever, that you would like to, drop today, so that you can pick wisdom from those who have already gone ahead, like Efe and Esther. Esther, I'm excited when I see beautiful women that are talking about money. It says a lot. I love it very much because men are often tagged with, oh, they're the ones that have to plan for the future, they're the ones that have to take care of the family. But we have women at the top of engagement this time around, discussing this matters. And I feel like people tend to take, you know, things like this very seriously when they see, especially women, talking about money. Then it's serious business, because anything a woman is doing, you already know it's serious. There's nothing, they don't joke. When they want to look good, they take it very seriously. When they are dressing, it's serious. And when they're discussing money, it's a serious matter. So I'm excited to have you here, Esther. And since you're here, let me just start straight with you, Esther. Esther, do you think I can actually become wealthy through investments?
Okay, I would say yes, absolutely. But is it quick? Is it going to be sudden? No. So with investment, I mean, for my intro, I'd mentioned that it's you have to start early, right? You have to build consistency. So I usually give an analogy of someone that came to me to say, okay, if I put 5K, you say the minimum investment subscription amount for the Stanbic Money Market Fund is 5,000. So if I bring 5,000, how much would I have? Because they're expecting such a huge sum. And when I say, okay, for instance, you get 10% from that 5,000. 10% is 500, right? From 5,000. Then you look at it and be like, oh, 500. I'll go and buy Coke. I'll drink it. It's not big money now. You are not using that percentage to gauge it. But if you had invested 5 million, you see that the interest, that 10%, the same 10% on that 5 million is 500K. Now it looks like it makes sense, right? So
Yes.
if you keep building that, if you keep building that amount, you can start small and you're building consistency. Definitely, imagine having 500K free money. And
Mm,
in the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund, it's not 10% you are getting. No. So
mm,
I'm being conservative by saying 10%. Now you get 500K free money. That's you building
mm,
wealth. And gradually, before you know, you beat my
mm.
boss.
Wow. Well, I mean, Esther, you speak a lot about your boss, which is Efe. I want to believe that Efe is at the upper echelon. Efe is
Exactly, you
among
just
the,
humble.
I can imagine. So let me just take the
Now, wow.
question to our upper echelon. Efe, is it true that you need a lot of money, to start investing? I mean, Esther has mentioned a lot of fact that, one day I will be like Efe. I also want to be like Efe one day. So is it true that I
Mm,
only have to have a lot of money to start investing, or is there a space for small investors?
okay, great. Um, it's not true. So I'll start with the obvious answer, right? It's not true that you need to have a lot of money to start investing. And it's also not true that there are small investors, right? So I
Mm,
like the way you try to position that in and bring some categorization to investors. An investor is an investor.
mm,
And whatever your value is what your value is, right? The problem comes when you begin to compare yourself with another person, and you
mm,
continue to compare your goal with another person's goal, or your desire with another person's desire. For example, you are speaking about me. I'm also in my mind thinking, how do I want to look as fresh as MC Relax? Right? I know I Googled you and I saw that you are somewhere in the mountains, and I don't know how I'm going to avoid that lifestyle. Look at you smiling, looking very fresh. So we keep looking at each other and wanting things from each other. Look at how Esther is
mm,
looking, right? If they had told me that there's a way I can package myself to look like this, won't I do it? So as a person, once you have what you are looking out for, then you
mm,
start investing towards it. no matter
Mm,
how small the amount is, no matter how little someone might call it, because to you
mm,
is something substantial. Esther mentioned about thinking about how you are going to buy Coke. Let's not
mm.
forget that a Coke drank today is happiness forfeited in future, right? So you need to be very focused. She spoke about
Mm,
diligence. You need to know where you are going. You jump
mm,
into the right bus, you will land somewhere else. You jump
mm,
into the right bus and you will land at your destination. So there is
mm,
no statement as that can be accurate when you qualify an investor as small. And
mm,
also, there is no statement that can be accurate when you say my money is too small. Just start
mm,
today.
mm. Wow. Wow. If there's anything I'm taking from this conversation from now is the fact that, a drink that you use that your 500 naira profits to drink today is joy forfeited in the future. Hey, I'm not taking drink again. No, I'm just going to be focusing on what. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. So it means that every little drop, amounts to the wealth that we have been thinking about. Fantastic. Then, Esther, uh, one of the biggest challenge that, we face many times is you mentioned 500 naira, don't just spend it. The wala is it going to take so long? Do you think investment would take so long for me to now become rich? Because that's the end goal. How long shall I continue like this if I'm going to be saving the 500? So would it take me so long for me to actually achieve, the wealthy state?
So, I mean, that depends on the individual and your goals, right? Another advice we always give people: set goals, realistic goals, because you don't want to say, oh, next month I want to buy a house in Banana Island, but you're starting with just 5K, and meaning 5K times 30. It's not this scheme. So you know that's not possible. So set realistic goals. Let's say, oh, for the short term, there's long-term goals. Oh, I want to be able to do this at so year, maybe in 10 years. And you say, okay, how much do I have to invest to start building that amount to the point where I'm able to achieve that goals? When you set goals, and of course you start seeing, you'll be able to see that tangible result. Imagine compounding 10% for 10 years.
Mm,
So I think it's just the individuals and your goals. Set realistic goals and have a plan on how long it will take you to achieve them and work towards it.
wow. Set achievable goals. You mentioned that, it's not a Ponzi scheme. This is not to digress, but I'm sure there are lots of people on this platform that will be able to bear bear witness to the many scams. I have fallen, you know, I'm falling for specifically MMM. I I remember, I had like a long sheet. I was so sure of the houses I was going to buy. I was actually pricing a land in Banana Island in 2016. I was so sure because I was just so sure that, oh my God, this 30% every month. Oh God, just give me 3 years. I'm great. I'm fulfilled in life, and yeah, I am still hoping to be like Efe. I give glory to God that I thank God that I'm still alive. So thank you so much. It's not a Ponzi scheme. You have to build through with it. You have to stay through with it, and then you can become great in the future as long as you keep investing. Okay, um, Efe, can you help us with this? How can you invest when the salary you are earning is not even enough for you? Because people are like, today like this in Nigeria, you can be saving, and tomorrow is your savings that will not save you. Do you understand those kind of wahala? So my salary is small. Can I still save?
Mhm. Yeah, something will save a man, right? No,
Mm,
no matter what it is. And so I want us to be very practical in looking at
okay.
this particular aspect, right? So there are people in two different categories. One Your income is just equal to your compulsory expenses. And those that have something slightly above their
Mm,
compulsory expenses, meaning expenses that you cannot do without. For example, you must transport to work,
mm,
right? You must eat 1 square meal. I don't know how people still decide to eat 3 square meals in this current day and age, right? I mean, it's not worth it because you need to look at the future. If I had known how to invest when I was young, maybe it's in the morning I'll just eat and the remaining money they give me to school, I'll be investing them. By
mm.
now, I'll be combined MC Relax and Esther together to myself. So, but if you are in that if you are in that category where your income just equals your expenses, you then need to ask yourself, is it temporal or is it a structural one? If it's a structural one, this is not your session, right? We need to start discussing a career path. If it's
Mm,
temporal, then obviously it will change with time and with
mm, true.
diligence, where you then begin to keep something aside. Now,
Mm,
if you have income that is slightly above your compulsory expenses,
mm,
then you need to start putting that income aside, no matter how small.
mm,
Luckily, we have products that would cater to everyone. So you should put it aside. Because if you start eating that amount that is higher than your compulsory expense today, you will
mm,
remain like that for life. Esther
mm.
mentioned that if you cannot save 5K, you cannot save 5 million. And that's the truth, right? And you then put yourself in a position where, as you go through time, as you age, you want to get to a destination as quickly as possible. And then it becomes impossible. Look at you doing MMM. I speak to you today as an investment professional. I also did MMM. Funny,
Wow.
right? Because I set a goal that was beyond me. And it was
Mm,
beyond me because I did not start early, right? And so when you see 30% return, you start calculating in your head 30% times 2 months, times 3 months, 4 months. Where will I be? And you fall into that trap. But if you start today, the extra 500 naira, the extra 1,000 naira, the extra 300 naira, to start putting it aside and start investing. And that investment begins to compound, even if it is 10% per annum. Where you would be in the next 20 years, it will be impossible for you to believe. So, my theory is always no matter how small, start investing. No matter how
mm,
little, start investing. But you must sacrifice something. Don't
mm,
intend to eat away your future. Because if you
mm.
eat away your future, you know what they say now. There will be nothing in that future now because you worked it today. So if you keep
Okay.
eating everything and consuming everything and forming that you cannot sacrifice, then when you get old, you will have to sacrifice that future.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ife, for clarifying a lot of great things. I'm excited that, at least we have something in common. I'm excited that we were both scammed, on the MMM scheme. That means if you can live there and become this great, it goes ahead to, to show that definitely I'm on the right path as I'm joining this. This is so good. So I feel like we have questions from our online guests. And the first one is, I would like to invest in your money market fund. Please confirm if this fund interest compounds monthly. Yeah. Esther, can you help us with that?
Yes, the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund, like I mentioned, minimum subscription is 5K, and of course, the interest compounds monthly. And you can even confirm this. It's very easy to use and see. When you download our app, when you've logged in, registered, and all, you can see your interest compounding daily. That's how sweet it is. That's how sweet it is to use the app. Then monthly, you see it add money and reinvested. That's if you choose to reinvest or take the funds. But yes, the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund interest is compounded daily, monthly. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Esther. Ife, I have a question for you. And this is from one of our guests online. Uh, Saying, could you help highlight some investment that people can start with a minimum amount, let's say 5,000 naira?
Absolutely. So, I mean, as Esther had mentioned, we have we have a lot of products. For example, with 5K, you can do either an equity fund, you can do a money market fund, you can do a fixed income fund, but it all depends on your risk appetite, right?
Mm,
So I started the equity fund years ago with 5K, and I put in 5K that I would never need as urgent as possible. So it's not that your urgent 2K that you should put in your equity fund. If you have urgent 2K, please go and put it in the money market fund, which is easily accessible. The value is quite stable, right? And you don't have to start panicking or checking your balance every single day and saying, oh, 5K has turned to 4.9, is now 4.50. Hey God, what is going to happen? So if you know that you have enough room in your belly to take risk, then you
mm,
want to go into a fixed income or an equity fund with your 5K. But if you know that you don't want to have any form of sleepless nights, then the money market fund is ideal for you.
mm. Okay, that is amazing. Thank you so much for clarifying that. All right, so uh, Ife, I'll come to you
Mhm.
again on this one, and then I don't know, maybe Esther too would like to weigh in on it. It says, can you talk about the products and the interest rates on them? How much is the money market? This is from one of our online family that are joining us. I don't know if you got the question or you want me to take it again.
No, we got the
Okay.
question, but you have
Okay.
the right person to answer that. Esther is the genius
Hey,
with the money
Esther,
market for
Esther,
performing
the money.
wonders.
No idea.
Okay.
But I mean, for the product we have, I mentioned that we have first the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund. Then for some investors that also might be interested in the equity market but don't want to take that risk themselves, we have our equities fund too. And the minimum for this fund is 5K. You can subscribe as low as 5,000. And we also have the Stanbic IBTC Enhanced Fund. This is for sustainable returns. We other products we have, and I think the second question was how much is the money market?
Yes, yes, that's the
Yes,
question.
the return.
Yes. Currently, as at today, the money market, the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund is returning 20.6%.
Wow. Wow, wow. 20.6%. That's a lot. That's amazing. I think I'm loving all this. We have lots and loads of questions online. You need to see the chat section is really bustling. People are not joking this year. People just want to ensure that they're making a lot of money. And that's beautiful. So please, if you are there, you still want to ask questions, it will be a very good time to, go ahead and ask these questions. Esther, I'm still coming back to you. Okay, so is it true that interest from investment can make you rich quickly?
No. I mean, that was the first thing I said. I told you it's no
You just broke
MMM.
my heart.
Remove that quick. The quick you're putting is what's causing the problem. Remove the
Ah,
quick. Remove it. I mean, if
That quick
that should
is
be
is an
exactly
issue.
that should be a red flag. When someone says, "Oh, invest in this thing, you will get rich quickly," you should run. That's what you should do
wow.
because that's a red flag. If interest from investment cannot make you rich quickly, but it can help
Mm.
you build wealth, like I've said earlier. But it won't make you rich quickly.
It will make you rich quickly, but it can help you build wealth. Hmm. Okay, so Efe,
Yes.
it will not make me rich quickly, but it can help me build wealth. So please tell me, what is the first step if I want to, start growing my wealth through investment? What would be the first step for someone like me?
First step always is, what do you want to achieve?
Mm,
So I will use someone like you because you brought yourself. So it's not me shading you, it's you that threw yourself into the mix, right? So I know you, and you told me off camera at that time that there's one particular island that you want to acquire in 4 years. You said it.
Yes.
And I took note. And I was looking at you and wondering, is that why you went to the mountain? Is it to pray or is it to pick your money? Which one are you looking for? But the
I'm,
thing is, you have a vision, right? You've
yeah.
seen what you want to do in 4 years and
Mm,
you value that thing you want to do. Right. So that's always the first step. What do you want to achieve? Is it a holiday in 6 months? Is it your rent? Is it children's school fees? Is it just to take your babe out to just
mm,
chill? Or is it to take your guy out? Let me not say babe, because these days guys are endangered species. We also want to be taken out, right? So is it to take the guy out and spoil him and make him open his teeth like MC Relax, just happy all through the day, right? You must have that objective. Once you have that
mm,
objective, don't jump into it yet. Ask yourself, what risk can I take to achieve this objective? Because that's the most
mm,
important thing. If you ask yourself, if I don't acquire this house in 4 years, what will spoil? Will I be
mm.
left stranded? Will there be no house for me to stay? If the answer is yes, then you cannot take risk on that your investment. You need to
Chai.
gradually build into it. You cannot hear that the money you put aside goes down. The holiday, the same thing. So every goal that you have will definitely have its own risk. And you must
Mm,
blend the two of them. So once you've identified the risk that you are willing to take, can you lose the principal? Can you not? Do you want the income to be aggressive or not? Then you start your investment proper. So remember those two things. Have that
mm,
goal and then determine the risk that is attached to that goal. And then you start building your investment towards that.
mm. Wow. Thank you so much, Ife. You have spoken like a true professional. Thank you so much for making that easy. I really appreciate. Esther the Guru, please. What investment tools does Stanbic IBTC Asset Management have right now, and how can young adults with small budgets, how can we benefit? I'm just putting myself in all this wahala because I just want to make money. Esther, I don't know how you are doing it, but I'm hoping you can help me, please.
I love money too. Don't worry. So, for us, we've aside from the mutual funds we've been talking about, the 5K investor, we know that there are people like you, MC Relax, that you've successfully built that money to maybe a certain level and you'll be like, oh, I can do more. And because at Stanbic IBTC we think about the people, and we see that we've always been playing in the corporate side with HNIs. We decided to build a platform for retail
Mm,
clients that will also help you take advantage of more opportunities in the market with better returns. And that's why we came up with the Blue Nest platform.
wow.
Um, just type in bluenest.stanbicibtcassetmanagement.com. Very easy. And from the Blue Nest platform, you can subscribe to bonds, you can subscribe to commercial papers, you can subscribe to treasury bills that is currently doing an implied yield of about 23%. So yes, that's one platform that we have currently to serve you guys, our investors.
I think I can attest to the fact that Blue Nest is amazing. It's fantastic. I am also a benefactor of Blue Nest. I'm reaping the fruits. I enjoy it. It's awesome and it's beautiful. And I will never stop. If you look at the screen right now, you see the website. You can quickly go there right now, log in so that you can benefit from this beautiful thing, and then you can have a great time, with us, and you can be like our boss, Efe, you know, so that you two can make.
Ah, now, wow.
If we are the centerpiece, what I want to do quickly
I'm
is I
telling
want to
you.
take some more questions from our online audience. Okay, this one says, mm, okay, yes. What investment is most advisable to a beginner with the fear of losing money? Please, before you answer that one, I want to ask, can somebody that has a fear of losing money, can they actually be an investor? Because I don't know how those two things, Yeah, so you can go ahead.
Okay, so I can start and then Esther, our beautiful Esther, can contribute, right? So if you have the fear of losing money, you can
Mm,
invest, right? So there's no human being that cannot invest. It just depends on the area you are at on the risk curve,
Okay.
right? So there are, for sake of a better word, less risky investment products that we have, right? And those products would almost guarantee your principal. So if you are afraid of losing money, don't also be aggressive in wanting return, sha. So you cannot say, I'm afraid of losing money, but I want 50% return per annum. You'll be like MC Relax. That one is criminal, right? So if you are afraid of losing money, you should also be satisfied with as little return as possible. So for people like that, the money market fund is your safest bet. You put in your funds and you begin to grow it through time. As you add more, you grow better and you grow faster, and you would be fine. But you cannot say, I'm afraid of losing money, I want to do an equity fund that is volatile. So yes, first answer, if you are afraid of losing money, you can still invest. Which product is better for you? It is the money market fund. I don't know if
Yeah, I
Esther
think Esther,
would
Esther
like
should
to
help us
tell
add to
them.
that.
Mm.
I think if you had said everything basically, if you're scared of losing money, the Stanbic IBTC money market fund is for you. First, we invest in safe investment. And when I say what do I mean by safe investment with very low, I mean little to no risk at all. So you're guaranteed that your capital is safe and you're not going to lose money. And I also mentioned that, I mean, at the beginning, we had talked about how you can start instead of putting that 5K, those little amount in the bank for, and then imagine putting 5K and then 2 months later, you are seeing 499 because of the charges. But if you put it in the money market fund, even if the interest, because it's high risk, high return, right? Low risk, low return. Even if the interest is not as high as the equity fund, but you are guaranteed your capital as you want. And because you're also a low risk investor, you don't want to lose any money, you're scared of losing money. The Stanbic Money Market, IBTC Money Market Fund is the right product for you.
Hello? Esther, can you hear me?
Yes, MC Relax, we can hear you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
we can hear you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you for that. All right, so this question is a very huge one. All right, so this one says, what does Stanbic IBTC have for dollar saving? Because this one says, I do not believe in Naira. I'm not complaining, no, as I cannot change Nigeria economy, but I can change my own economy. So is there anything for the dollar market?
But
Esther, they say
Buster.
ladies first now. They say ladies first. This one is now becoming guys first. This is unfair.
Because you are the one investing in dollars.
So
Okay.
so
Okay, so
for
if you
someone that for someone that does not necessarily believe in the stability or sustainability of the local currency, you can invest in dollar denominated products, and you can invest in two ways depending on the size of funds that you have. So if you have something substantial, a separate portfolio can be created for you, and then dollar investments will be done on your behalf
Mm,
with your consent.
okay,
If your amount is not so substantial, similar to what we have with the money market fund, we have a dollar fund.
okay.
And I think the minimum, Esther, you can correct me, I think it's $1,000. I'm thinking,
no,
if I
the good
remember.
thing is it has been reduced, revised to $100 for
You see what
you,
I'm
our
saying? See them,
investors.
Esther. They bring in more investors into the party, right? So with $100, you can invest in a dollar fund managed by Stanbic IBTC. asset management, and you would begin to earn returns in dollars as well.
Mm.
Esther, you can now help me.
Okay, so taking it from where Efe stopped, we have the Stanbic IBTC Dollar Fund. Initially, the minimum subscription amount was $1,000, but again, because we at Stanbic IBTC, we think about you, our client. That was reviewed to $100. So now you can bring down your $100 you're just keeping in your account to the Stanbic IBTC Dollar Fund. Also, for clients that think they have more money and can do much more or want to take more risks, we have great relationship managers and wealth managers that can come to you and help. Also, we can structure a portfolio for you, just for you, to invest directly in those dollar instruments like euro bonds, or buy instruments, dollar denominated instrument for you directly.
Mm. Okay, this is great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Esther. All right, this question says, I am mixing up money market. What's the difference between money market and mutual?
So mutual fund is a generic name, right? And the money market fund is a type of mutual fund. Did you hear me, MC Relax? Esther, did you hear me? Let me
Yes,
just be
I
sure I
did. I
was
think
heard.
his network is.
Okay, okay. So I don't know, for the person that asked that question, that's just the difference. If you say I'm investing in the money market fund, you are investing in a type of mutual fund. Mutual fund is just a collection of individuals pooled resources and invested as one. Okay, let me see. So Esther, maybe can we take some of the questions that are online? And
Yes, I
so
was just
MC
okay.
Relax, you're back. MC Relax.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it my network that is
Yeah, you
messing?
went off for a bit.
Yes, we went off for a bit.
Oh wow! I think I need to change my network.
Yes.
I think I
Yes,
need. I think
I
I.
think
I
so.
think I need to invest in my network so that my network will not be doing this whole mutual fund problem on me. Okay. All right. So I feel like all right. So how can I diversify my investment returns? Can I buy company shares, and how risky is it?
So diversification is simple and complicated at the same time. All right. And it depends on what you want to achieve with diversification. So if you are already an equity investor and you want to buy different equity securities that would give you some form of diversification, then that is what you want to do. You want to buy those securities that do not move in line with each other. Remember, diversification is just when something is going up, we have something that is balancing it. And when something is going down, you have something that is balancing it. So that at any point in time, you are not at the topmost and you are not at the bottomless pit, right? So, and that's what diversification is. If you are into fixed income already, let's assume you've invested in the money market fund and so on. Yes, you can buy equities to act as a diversifier so that it gives you an upside twist. When shares of companies begin to rise, then you benefit from that. And then your fixed income would help you reduce the risk of equities. So that's how you would typically want to look at diversification, having something that protects you from the very bottom and also having something that gives you an upside when the market is very favorable.
Also, I think To add to that, also for the person speaking of diversification, I don't know if you know that to invest in equities also you must be a risk taker. You should be ready and you should be thinking long term. Equities is not short term, and equities is not risk averse, for risk averse investors. So for clients that are risk averse but want to also get a a reasonable or decent rate level, you can invest in T-bills and bonds. They are both government securities with little to no risks. That's for the FGM bonds and T-bills. And those are the two instruments also that we list on our Blue Nest platform. You can take advantage of that. You think you have and minimum for the platform is 500K. So I think that's quite reasonable. You think you have some funds and you want a better return that mutual funds will give you, you can invest in T-bills and bonds without and sleep well so that you're not scared. This is also for the clients I say for the person that is thinking about losing money. You can do
Mhm.
T-bills and bonds and you can go through our Blueness platform to register for that.
Great. I think there's a question here that speaks to how do we reach more people at the grassroots level and get them better educated so that the likes of CBEX will not affect them again. I mean, we've taken this comment, and just to further explain that we've been looking at our retail outreach, and there are a lot of engagements that we've been having and that we'll continue to have just to deepen the market, to bring forth a lot more investors, and to share some form of knowledge to those rural or those retail areas. Our focus is really on how well we develop the market to reach the retail investors, and that is very key to our strategy, and you will begin to see a lot more of those. It's our pain that investors lose money to scammers and to all these outfits who promise them a whole lot of returns and then move away with their principal. So we'll continue to work with the regulator, we'll continue to work with the market and see how well we educate a lot of retail investors. So that will be done, and that is currently being done.
Thank you, Faith. There's another question that says, which investment account would you recommend that are open for minors? I think that would be the Stanbic. I mean, we keep saying the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund because for minors, I don't think you're trying to play with their money or trying
Mhm.
to take more risks. You just want a steady growth for them to the point where it can amount to something significant.
Yeah, to add to that, Esther, it also depends on what the objective of the parent is, right? So someone like me, right? I have two accounts for my minors. A lot more, but two main accounts for my minors. One is equity biased, right? And the other is money market biased. So I have the money market fund that I know with some reasonable amount of certainty what that target value would be. So what I've done is to say, assuming the fund returns even 5% per annum, and I put in money at that rate, where do I want their value, the legacy I will give to them, where do I want it to be after 10 years or after 15 years or thereabout? So that's with some precision. I also know that when they get to that age, they might ask me what I was doing when my mates were investing heavily for their own children. so, so to avoid that one, I've put in an equity kicker, right? Where I'm now investing in the equity fund. Remember, the equity market has done over 120% in the last 3 years. So, and again, let people not see that one and jump in today. That will be your own call.
I was
But
going to say that.
but but because past return is gone, so there's no need looking at past return and using that to project what you want to do going forward. But what I have done is at least to give them an opportunity to benefit from a rally when it happens. So they have the equity fund as well and putting money into the equity fund. Sometimes it will go down, sometimes it will go up, but on an average, I believe it will get to a point that is decent for them. So that when they ask me those questions, I'll say, see, I took risk on your behalf and I also avoided risk on your behalf. So one of them we shall work and you will not blame me. Because me too, I'm looking at my father to say, when people were investing like this for their own children, money wise, not education. His focus was education. Flog me all over the place to go and read. But but he also want to put in the financial bit as well.
If I would say that,
Yes, and that was the initial point I'd mentioned that said that if you're thinking equities, you should be thinking long term. Obviously, you're
Yeah.
thinking, you mentioned it, that for your minors, you're thinking of when they grow so that they don't accuse you of doing nothing for them. Thank you, Faye.
I think that your dad's beating, I think he paid off at the end of the day. I mean, look at the amazing man.
How, how do you know?
Look at no, from the fruit. That's how we judge. We judge by the fruit. So I can see you. I can see that. Oh, the beating did a lot. You might not agree, Sha, but I mean, look at you. Because I was also beaten a lot. That's why I'm now doing MC. I didn't want to stress myself on chemistry. All right, so I have this question that says, and by the way, I have to apologize for my network. I don't know. I've had to run from pillar to post. So this one says,
Yeah,
it says,
happens.
I've tried severally to open a dollar fund with Stanbic IBTC, but haven't worked. I do not have a dollar account with Stanbic IBTC, but with GTB. Can I still do that?
Sorry.
Yes, please. Can you still invest? Of course, you can still invest with us. I don't know what the issue has been and why that particular client has not been able to open a dollar fund account with us. But I mean, we can go through the message, and I think one of our team members will reach out to you after this session to follow up. You can also send an email to us using the address that will be shared after this session, and would be glad to help you achieve that goal.
Okay, thank you very much. Ife, I think this is directed at you. He said, how would you recommend to share portfolio between money market fund and more risky investment options like ETFs for a more risk tolerant investor?
Okay, so ETFs, right? And the money market fund, or maybe the mutual fund in general. Again, I try to explain that when I was speaking to how you want to balance risk and return. It all depends on you. We cannot say do 50-50 because we don't know what you want to achieve. Once we know what you want to achieve, we would be able to advise you on that split. If you look at me getting towards 70, right, my split will be different from you, MC Relax, that is just 22, right? So we need to really look at it and look at it very, very well based on our own tolerance for risk. But the ideal split for someone that is on an average age level with an average income, average investment balance might be 60-40. You can do 60 in a risk-free mutual fund like the money market fund, and then 40 in a more risky investment instrument, the ETFs or an equity mutual fund as well.
Ife, I don't know if you want to, Esther, I think you should go at this. This one says, people talk of positive gains in investment in MTN shares. What can you say about this, and how can we go about it equally? The minimum cash to start with. I don't know if that is, probably relevant to this conversation.
Thankfully, we have.
MTN investment, the person wants to buy mask. MC last. Does the person want to buy mask, MTN mask, or MTN
I
phone, or
wouldn't
MTN
know. Maybe the
network?
person is trying
We
to
need
buy the
to
company.
we need to be sure. Maybe it's equity shares. Esther, maybe it's
Yeah,
the
I'm
company
sure.
shares
I'm
you're
sure the
talking
person is
about,
talking
right?
about taking advantage of stocks, right? MTN stock. Thankfully, we have the
Yes. Yes.
Stanbic stockbroking. I mean, our app is a one-stop app. You can also open. It's very easy to open an account with us and take advantage of shares. You can see different shares to buy. But then again, for anyone that is interested in buying shares, our advice is also to make sure that you are aware of the market, you are going long term, and you also have the ability to take on risks. That's you're a risk taker. You can't be risk averse and want your capital because the equity market is very volatile. You can't say, oh, no, I want my, because you heard the news that MTN is doing well. Okay, I'm coming to Stanbic now, I want to buy MTN. And then tomorrow, just tomorrow, you see that it goes down. The next thing you're coming that Stanbic IBTC deceived me. No, MTN is bad. No, just be aware. Just know that.
Okay, Efe, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, I can hear you.
Esther, good to have you back. So,
Oh,
no, 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 it's fine. I think there's a major. I think we'll start wrapping up, very soon. But there's this question that we need to ask. It's very important. Someone is saying, what is the monthly ROI for 15 million naira on money market? Can you speak to that? 15 million. Let's say I have 15 million naira now. What's the ROI on the money market? Yeah.
no. So because the way the Stanbic IBTC Money Market Fund works is, you see, you get your return daily. So the return is not one, like it's not a guaranteed return. I can't guarantee you that, oh, you're getting for the throughout the month you're getting 20% because it's not guaranteed. You see your return daily, and the good thing is on the app, like I mentioned, you see that daily. You see what you're accruing daily with different rates. Our yield calculation is daily, so it's a daily effective yield. It's not a one rate fund that you say, oh, okay, throughout this month it's returning 20%. So for the month, 20% on 15 million is not calculated that way.
Okay, so basically, it depends on the daily interest that comes
Yes,
with it. That's how that. Oh,
yes,
so that means I can make more today, make even much more tomorrow, depending on how the
exactly,
market goes. But
exactly.
but 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 can you assure me that I will not lose any money?
For the
'Cause I don't
Stanbic
like lose.
IBTC Limited Fund, you can, yes, you
Because
cannot lose money.
Esther, I know your
We
address, so you are
we
assuring
created
me.
that fund for people like you now that don't like to lose money.
Okay, all right. So Esther, I'd ask this one: if I buy treasury bills through the Blue Nest app, can I get my interest upfront?
Yes, I mean, I believe that from the app, there's a there's a place to tick. There's a drop down where you can state if you want your interest upfront or you want your interest to accrue to maturity, or you want your interest at maturity.
Okay, so that means the options are there. I can either get it straight or wait for everything. Yeah, because I feel like this is a very important question. I'll just quickly say this, Esther. There's a time where I wanted to do treasury bill. I didn't know. I had already put in the money. I just saw that they didn't take all the money. I didn't understand what was going on. So I was excited that maybe they just dashed me money. So after like after like 9 months, I was not saying, where's my interest? They said, that you started with your interest. I had already squandered the interest before I got the money.
Okay. Okay. You know what, MC Relax. So I'll touch on these two. Can you hear me? I'll touch on these two questions briefly. Right. Number one is on this myth around upfront interest and not. Right. It's the same argument you have whether you want to receive dividend in cash or not. It's your call. You can make your interest yourself and you can decide to invest to generate that interest. Even though the app has a portion to say receive your interest upfront, you can just take out that cash without putting it into the platform, right? And just put in the exact amount you want to invest, and just invest that amount, and know that whatever you've kept aside is what interest that you could have earned. So you can decide on how to do that. On the question around, I think I heard 15 million, and the person was asking for the ROI, right? And I think Esther answered very accurately by saying that the rate is not guaranteed, and we cannot guarantee you on where you will land. But I also like to add to what Esther said, to say even if we assume, so let's assume for simplicity. I think what the person wanted to actually know is what would they get assuming things are fixed, right? So if we assume things are fixed, let's assume that throughout last year the return was 20%. So I wouldn't say going forward, because going forward you don't know. But if throughout last year the return on the fund fluctuating per day was an average of say 20%, then if you had put in 15 million, then 20% should be 10, 1.53, 300K thereabout, no, 270, 260K thereabout per month, right? So that's how you can gauge how much you would get on a monthly basis. Good thing is the effective yield is sent to investors or communicated to investors on a daily basis. So you can easily see what the return, assuming everything is held constant going forward, what the return would be. So on a daily basis, you can see whether the appropriate income is being credited to you or not. On a monthly basis, you can check if it's being credited to you or not. So what that investor can have in mind is to say, if I invest 15 today and the rate remains at 20,000, 20%, then on a monthly basis, I should be getting to 70K plus or minus something. And so when another rate is communicated to you and it says 19, you can also work out that math and say plus or minus, I should be around 250 or 220K. So that's just what I wanted to add to what Esther said, just to provide a calculation methodology for that person to get their own
Thank you.
ROI. So you can calculate it yourself and see
Oh,
how it goes. Mm.
thank you so much, Ife. I really appreciate. Just quickly, I'll take this last question, then I think we'll just begin to wrap everything up. This question says, "Do I need a separate account for my money market funds, or is my savings account enough?"
Yes, there are two different accounts. The savings account is your bank account, right? Your mutual fund account is your investment account. So yes, you need a separate. You need to open. You need to register. I mean, for the mutual fund. And again, on the app, if you open the app, you see everything. You see the bank, you see the mutual funds, you see your pension. So it's a one-stop shop, right? You can click on the mutual funds, you can click on the bank. So the bank is separate from your investment account.
Thank you, Esther. The bank is separate. So I feel like the app, I mean, the link on the screen, you can easily just use this one to get straight to it. I mean, so I'll be taking final words from Esther. Esther, if we're going to be, giving advices at this point in time, what would it be?
Sorry, MC.
I think we lost Esther.
Okay,
MC
okay,
Rhelax.
okay. That's
Yeah.
good. All right. So if it just before you do your final words, because I think we need to,
Okay,
you know,
sorry,
give.
MC Relax. I think I lost you or you lost me.
I'm glad we are back.
Oh, we lost ourselves.
We didn't lose ourselves. Okay, so Esther, I was saying if you were going to be giving your final words, if there's anything you've done for me, Esther, today, it is to assure me that with the Blue Nest app, I'm never going to lose any money. And I mean, because I'm excited that I know your Instagram handle, I know your address, I know where you work. So I mean, I can come and look for you. Do you understand? So I mean, if you're gonna be so if you're gonna be saying your final words today, for me, I have that. I have that. I cannot lose money, and that's why I'm putting all my life savings. Esther is running away, but I'm sure she will come back. So
Yes.
if
My
Esther,
network
Esther,
just has to wait
Esther,
till the
See,
end.
Esther,
I will
Sorry.
send you her
Esther,
house address. I will even put her house
I
address.
I have it. Oh, I have it. That's the funny thing. Esther is like your network is okay. Esther, because the
I
gist
heard
is
you. Don't worry. I was hearing everything.
all
So
right. So you just tell me if you were, yeah, go ahead, please.
okay,
You
so
can
I
go
think
ahead.
one last word for me is I've been saying I was talking about consistency, right? I was saying that setting goals and all, and to start your investment journey. I think I saw someone comment that, oh, meaning you saying starting early, meaning that it's too late for me. Remember that there is a saying that it's never too late. Nobody has put a age gap to the late, the early. I didn't say early is 2 years. I didn't say early is 30 years. I didn't say early is just start now. It's never too late. So, and to build that also, I know some people will say, so if I'm budgeting, it means that I can't enjoy my life. No, budget will not doesn't mean that you can't spend or you won't enjoy your life. It just means that now you're spending, but you're spending more intentionally. So have a budget, have a plan, or have a budget for investment.
Okay, I think I really appreciate the fact that Esther is already also debunking the fact that I didn't promise you will be wealthy next to it, and then you're fine and you're very good. All right, so I'd like to take final words from Efe. Efe, what would that be?
Yeah, so I would anchor on what Esther has said about having a budget, having a plan, and starting now. But I would include that you stay diligent, right? And you stay through the course. I was joking with someone now that I was going to mention his name, and I'll mention it. So there's this very nice footballer in our team, right? Very skillful guy, but he's so lazy. And so it's not all about being skillful, knowing how to score goals, but you should be able to carry yourself. So he will train very shortly and he'll be tired. So he never stays the course till the end. He's never diligent. He's never pushing. And if you want to be a good footballer, you should be able to push till the end. So that guy, I know he's watching me now. He should note that I'll keep dragging him on any platform that I go to say he must be diligent to be a good footballer. So to be a good investor as well, you have to be diligent. If you really want to be wealthy, you must stay the course through.
That is coming straight from a wealthy man advising you if you want to be wealthy, you have to be diligent, you have to stay the course. Just like Esther said, you just have to keep going, set a goal, and make sure that you're focusing on it. Dogged, not saving today, investing today. 3 days already checking. Do I have 48 billion? Calm down. It's a long-term goal. It's a long-term game plan. And then if you can be diligent, like if it said, you wake up to find out that you have actually accrued a lot of money. Actually, we have a survey that we've shared on all platforms. Please, if you're watching, I'm begging you to kindly fill out the survey. It won't take time, in about 45 seconds, you're already done with the survey. Ife, thank you, Esther, for doing this. Thank you, Stanbic IBTC Asset Management, for doing this. Ife, I feel like we need to do this more. I feel like
Yeah.
we need to try as much as possible to educate people, because there are lots of questions that I'm not able to take. I feel like we should really try to do this very, very soon. What do you think, Ife?
Yeah, I think so. With Esther as well. She has another hairstyle that she will show us the next time.
There's no way we are going to be able to do this without bringing Esther. You know why? Because it's only Esther that is adding the beauty to our strong faces. Just
I
look at
tell
her,
you.
she's smiling.
I tell you.
She makes it look like it's a lie. Life is not that hard. You can be great, you can be
Yeah.
awesome. I mean
Mm.
the smile says it all. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining us. Thank you, every other
you.
person. We look forward to seeing
Thank
you
you.
at our order. Thank you very much. All right. This is the time. Before you go, just 30 seconds. This is the time to take a quick selfie. Everybody, you can screenshot your screens right now and post it on your WhatsApp status, post it on your Instagram, post it everywhere. Say, yes, I was definitely IBTC asset management, and I saw a pretty woman, Esther, and I also saw a billionaire, Efe, and this very, very big headed MC.
Amen. Amen. Oh. Ah,
Okay, please. Just before I go, I want to reiterate that the form is to capture your questions. If you have some questions that we've not been able to answer right now, that's why we're giving out the survey. You can drop your questions there. Everything will be sorted. Once again, thank you so much. And from my side, I think that'll be everything. Thank you so much, Ife. Thank you, Esther. I look forward to doing this with you
thank
sometime
you.
next month or next 2 months. All
Thank
right.
you very much.